Now, last week we have completed the project appraisal note with you all. And today I have given you some note on investment banking division role. So what is basically investment banking division doing? Now these are the things, this is common to everywhere. This is common to any time, right? Now I have taken from a website of a particular the famous investment banking division. So there was a question on this. Please go through. These are the things you do when you're working in the investment banking division. These things, right? So we have actually completed. Now see, private placement, we have done this. Private placement is what? On contrary to the IPO or the share issued to the public, private placement, basically you meet individual investors and ask them to invest in your company shares. So you privately talk to each people. You privately talk to each institution. So that's what private placement, less cost. But if it is IPO, you are inviting public to participate at the share issue or the invest in share issue. Prospect issue, right? We have done this. And also we will be doing, I'll be giving a note on due diligence when you are doing a company acquisition basically comes. Now, when you due diligence procedures, due diligence task also, I'll be giving a note on that. This is also important part of basically when you print the prospectus. Prospectus is what? Basically giving the all the information on the company and the purpose of utilization of this particular money to be raised through this IPO. So everything should include in the prospectus. So basically you are giving an idea to the third party. So now say I am the investor, I want to know about this particular company. How do I get to know? By going through or by reading the prospectus. So the company's utmost task is what? To give the proper and correct, reliable information. But you are giving information to third party to make a decision. What is the decision? Whether investing in shares or not. So basically you have to give all the information. So all the information, lot of information, number of information, including the prospectus. I have given a note on that also. What are the information available in the prospectus? Audited accounts, directors detail, financial statements, audited financial statements, purpose of going to do with this money, under a litigation, if any, everything. You have to provide quantitative, qualitative, everything, right? So right issue is basically we have done some questions as well. When you are asking to raise money to the company from the existing shareholders, so you are giving opportunity to existing shareholders to invest at a lower or the discounted price compared to the market, below the market price එකට අඩුවෙන් තමයි දෙන්නේ. Under what right? Preemptive right. Remember we have done this, all these things, right? But preference shares we have done. Remember the number of shares, ordinary shares, preference shares, and quite number of shares available in your note as well. When you calculate in the project appraisal, we have done this cost of capital, cost of preference shares as well. Preference shares are kind of shares, but not like ordinary shares. Ordinary shareholders are the real owners of the company. But preference shares always they are the shareholders, but they are not treating as a true shareholders. We'll have to pay whatever the coupon or agreed the interest rate or the coupon rate or the dividend as we agreed. preference shareholders, right? For the shares we are paying dividend, right? Irrespective of preference shares, ordinary shares, we are paying dividend, right? Mandatory voluntary offer, I have given a note here, mandatory offer here. Basically, if somebody acquires more than 30% of a particular company, you'll have to give the others also the same opportunity to sell. Now, recently, Liberty, there is a only transaction. That's what actually happened. They'll have to give a 30%. They have acquired 30%. They had to give more than 30%. Then they have to give the mandatory offer to the existing other shareholders as well to see whether they sell to you or the particular investor at whatever the price agreed. But there is agreed price as well, right? Last 3 months price, highest price. So that is mandatory offer. We have done this. Commercial papers, we have done this particular topic under money market instrument. Commercial paper is a discounted money market instrument. Basically, the tenor will last only for 1 year. It's a discounted instrument. When the company needs to raise money, they issue commercial paper. It's like promissory note, right? There is no much mechanism there, only a paper. And pay that. Derivative swaps we have not done yet, but under the proprietary trading we'll be learning. Derivative meaning is the hedging instrument. Derivative means a hedging instrument. SOP is a part of that. Now, in terms of foreign currency, derivative instrument is a popular derivative instrument is forward exchange contract. But here under derivative swaps meaning, now share swaps. Now here they are actually the people who are working in investment banking division. They undertake share swaps, ESOP. Employee, when the company is going to be private company, the public company is going to be privatized, so there will be a ESOP as well for the existing the employees also get shares. So those things has to be structured. So you undertake, investment banking people undertake this. I have lost this. Listed equity replacement is what? Listing. So we have learned 4 methods of listing, obtaining listing. Remember? So all these things we have done. Now, when you want to be listed, you can't do it on your own. You'll have to consult a investment banking company for you to do this. Lot of formalities are there. Which board you are going to be listed on. So everything you'll have to decide, right? Whether you need money, if you don't need money, or just to be listed, introduction, prospectus sales, offer for sale. Right. So basically, you'll have to contact the investment banking division. Securitization means under debt finance. Securitization means we have a separate topics. So we'll be learning later. Loan syndication also there is a topic. I'll be giving a note on that. Now securitization means what? Now when take the leasing company. Leasing company මොකද කරන්නේ? Leasing දුන්නාම මාස 60කින් විතර තමයි හම්බෙන්නේ ඒවට installment. But they'll have to pay upfront or at lump sum payment to the car owner or the example Toyota or whatever. But they pay, but they receive money in installment by 60 days. So there is a mismatch. So basically they sell CR, certificate of registration. So CR they are selling and they are taking money, keeping CR as a security. That is securitization. Very popular in Sri Lanka, but not at this moment. Why? Leasing companies NPA is little high due to this pandemic situation. People are not engaging in much activities. So some NPA level has gone up in terms of leasing companies, right? So the loan syndication means if you can't give one particular loan, you get together and give. So you working in investment banking division, you try to syndicate people. You will structure it. Okay, you will put this much, you will put this much, you will put this much, like that. Syndication, you get a fee from it. Loan syndication, right? There is a topic for you all. I'll be giving a note on this, only the literal meaning. Debentures, we have done this under debt instrument. Very similar to what? Treasury bond. Only the issue is different, right? And several types of debentures we have done. AT1 instrument. That is very popular one now. State institutions, state banks especially, when you want to take it to the capital, they'll have to issue AT1 instrument and convertible instrument, right? It has to be convertible part if you want to take into the capital. When the private banks issue, it should be a convertible debentures. Then qualified investors only can be participated at this kind of investments. So qualified investors, I'll be giving a list on that. Qualified investors, right? Institutions are there. Then there is a threshold for net asset. If somebody is 500 million, then you can pass it to pay. So then you will be treated as debenture, the qualified. Then if it is individual, you feel you have more than 50 million, then you can be treated as qualified investor. There are threshold eligibility criteria for you to become a qualified investor. So I'll be giving a note on that. There can be a test question on that, right? Commercial paper, you have done this derivative of Sharia compliance products, and corporate advisory service, mergers and acquisition. We have a separate topic. Diagnosis studies means due diligence. Diagnosis, so everything you will be diagnosed everything, whether you will be in trouble or not. Corporate structuring also, you have a separate topic. When the company is making continuous losses, how do you turn around the company? So where we will be learning ESOP, employee share options, same thing here also, derivatives, same thing, right? Project development, basically project development specifically they are not saying, but project development in a sense, when you are doing some project, when somebody was asking to evaluate, you do. But generally we do actually this project development by auditors, audit firms only, right? Here the project development means you kind of in terms of advisory form, you can help them as investment banking, right? And also go through this underwriter we have already done. Unit trust is another company. Private equity companies and examine tested private equity companies, right? Tested, but unit trust companies, about unit trust companies, he has not tested. Unit trust, sorry, about unit trust companies, they have not tested. Examiner can test you this time. Unit trust company meaning and all thing, right? This is just for your reading. I have given the same to you to the last session people also, just to go through, right? Right. And some, these are the questions we have taken from different papers. Please try these questions. If you feel that if you can't answer, we will do it in the class, but straightforward questions. All these things we have done last week. Debenture, how to calculate cost of debt and everything. Only thing, when you take cost of debenture, cost of borrowing, what's the adjustment you will have to do? Tax adjustment. That's all. Otherwise, D divided by PU. Dividend or investment interest income divided by PU. You make the adjustment to the CAPM, remember? Beta is systematic risk is measured by beta, right? Risk-free rate plus beta within bracket market return minus risk-free. Market return minus risk-free, we have a separate term called risk premium. If the examiner does not give market return, then you'll have to take risk premium as well, right? Risk premium, if the examiner gives you risk premium, is more than enough for you to calculate. IRR means what? Internal rate of return. IRR means the rate NPV becomes 0. So we last week learned when the NPV is positive, you accept the project. Minus, you don't. So plus NPV minus means what? You add value to the shareholders' equity, shareholders' wealth. You add value to the shareholders' wealth. So IRR NPV 0 means you don't add anything. You won't, you can continue with the project. Otherwise, you can refrain from accepting the project. Sunk cost means already incurred, which we do not take into the account for the project calculation questions. Sunk cost means already gone. You already spent. Now, for example, this actually accounting. Now, when you are asked to calculate, say now there is a machine purchase. Now you have done a feasibility study. You have spent 400,000 rupees to do a feasibility study. So that is sunk cost, not relevant. Irrespective of you accept or not, you have already spent. You don't want to take into account sunk cost. Only the incremental cost we have to take, and the incremental cost and the relevant cost only we will have to take into the project appraisal calculation. Payback period means how long you take to recover your investment or the capital. Lower the better. පුළුවන් තරම් ඉක්මනට මට මේක recover කරගන්න පුළුවන් නම් මාගේ capital එක, that's better. Similar thing also we'll be learning later under the formula price earning ratio. So when you want to invest in shares, when the price earning ratio is lower, you go for that. How long will it take for you to recover your money? Lower the better. Price earning ratio, market value divided by EPS. We'll be learning later how to calculate. There are investor ratios. Examiner tested this, right? Right. So last week also I have given some and this tude, it covers a lot. Now these are the topics of your syllabus: asset management, wealth management, underwriting, financial brokering, investment research. These are only the literal meaning. Examiner test these things for 5 marks. Write a short note. That's all. Asset management. What do you mean by asset management? What do you mean by wealth management? What do you mean by underwriting? Tested, right? All these things tested for 5. I have given the tude just to read and keep in mind. Still, then the document, keep it in your mind. So you might require in the exam for 5 marks questions. So when you're doing the past papers also we'll be doing. So it's these are the topics in your syllabus: asset management, wealth management, underwriting, all these things. So we can cover with this tude a number of topics, just to read it. Read and keep in mind. All right, before we move into the next topic, I would like to take some past paper questions with you all. Now see this question. Now see 2019 September. It's a latest question paper. 2019 September, we didn't have any questions, exams after that, right? So this is the latest question paper available. Question number 4. Sub question number 2. Now see, I hopefully that you have this question paper with you. I'll read it to you. Majority of business are run on borrowed funds, and cost of capital becomes an important parameter in assessing a firm's potential investment opportunities. Analysts and investors use weighted average cost of capital. Now see, weighted average cost of capital. So basically weighted average cost of capital, we have learned this. Weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital consists of what? Weighted average cost of capital consists of cost of equity and the cost of equity and cost of debt. Cost of equity and cost of debt. So what's the question says? Majority, right? Weighted. Why is weighted? Last week we remember doing a question, and here also you have the same question, right? I'll show it to you. Now this is the question I was referring to you last week. This question. Now say weighted average means you weight it. Now cost of equity means 100 out of 500. 500 100ක් තමයි ordinary shares. Cost of preference shares තියෙන්නේ 550යි. Debenture 500 350 like that. Right? You weight it like you do treasury bill. Weighted average. Weighted average cost of capital. That. Now what's this question? Following data is available on the current financial market and the entity you are analyzing. 10-year treasury, 10-year bond yield. 10-year bond yield means what? 10-year bond yield, treasury bond yield, 10-year. 10.5. So yield and the coupon, we have learned the difference, right? Coupon is what? When you are issuing a debenture or a, what you call debenture or a treasury bond, you have a coupon there, which is semi-annually paid. Why semi-annually? If it is treasury bond, always semi-annual. Coupon payment is always semi-annual. Debenture, you can have it your own. But here they are talking about the bond 10-year. They are not saying government treasury bond, but 10-year bond yield 10.5 means we can assume treasury bond they are talking about, right? Otherwise, they'll have to mention corporate bonds. Corporate tax rate 28%. Average cost of borrowing they have calculated for you. Equity beta. So when the equity beta examiner gives, suddenly it should come to your mind, beta where do we use? Which formula? CAPM, right? Then they are asking expected market risk return. Expected market risk return. Expected market risk return. So where do we use these words? In the CAPM formula, remember? And the long-term debt of the company amount 500 million and the equity amount 1 billion, 1,000 million or 1 billion. They have given. Now they are asking what? Calculate the cost of equity using CAPM. Examiner has specifically told you you have to calculate using the CAPM. Now see, cost of equity, two methods we have learned. One thing is CAPM, the other one is dividend. Remember? Now here examiner asks you to calculate by using the CAPM. So what's the formula? Formula you'll have to keep in mind. Risk-free rate plus beta market risk, market return minus risk-free rate. This is the formula. Only the application, nothing. So how do you calculate? How do you substitute? Risk-free rate. Which rate we take? Generally, either treasury bill or treasury bond. Have they given? Yes, they have given 10-year treasury bond. They have not specifically mentioned corporate bonds, but we'll have to take it as treasury bond. So then you take 10.5 risk-free rate plus what is beta? 0.8. Systematic risk is measured by beta, right? If it is 1, below 1, above 1, remember aggressive shares more than, if it is 1, more than 1, aggressive. Perform well, these shares perform well than the market performance. Market return, expected market risk return, expected market 14. Return, market return, risk return 14. And risk-free rate, anyway, they have taken 10.5. So if the examiner does not give this, instead of they can give you risk premium, market risk premium. Market risk premium is same as market return minus risk-free rate. Anything you pay above risk-free rate. Remember that we learned 1-year treasury bill is 5%. Example, now is actually is less than 5%. Now you pay for 1-year FD how much? 6% or more than 5% anyway. So what is the difference? Risk premium. By investing in your bank, investor take a risk than the investing in government securities. Obviously, right? Banks can go bankrupt, but the government never. So basically, government instruments are we call risk-free, but your bank instruments are riskier. So that's why you pay more. So this is the calculation. What's the answer? 13.3. Cost of equity. Cost of equity. 13.3. So then second part of the question. Based on the above answer, calculate the weighted average cost of capital of the company. Weighted average, suddenly it should come into your mind. This company consists of equity or the shareholders funds and the debt. Weight කරන්නේ එතන ඒකනේ දැන් මේ company capital එක හොයාගෙන තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද? එකක් අයිතිකාරයෝ දාන ඒවා cost of capital then they have borrowed funds. So the borrow funds, average cost of borrowing. Now, how do you do this? We have learned this. How to calculate? Weighted average cost of capital. Remember the other day 13.3. Now we have calculated here. Cost of capital. How do you weight it? How much capital out of total? Total is how much? Debt and equity. Debt, how much you have? Long-term debt. Fancy equity. The total base of the capital 1005. So equity 1000 out of 1005. 1000 out of 1500 plus cost of borrowing. Average cost of borrowing 12%. You can see, right? 12%. Debt is 500 out of total base is 1500. Now you do this. You multiply. Now when you're doing the calculation, remember, when you take the cost of debt, treat this as a before adjustment the tax. So you put a note there. The examiner has given you the tax rate. Since we will have to think tax is not adjusted, so then you adjust the tax rate as well. Here 8.86 plus. Now you do the adjustment to the tax 12. 12 in kocharak 12% is the and 1 minus t. Remember 12 into 1 minus t means what? What's 28, right? So then 72. 12 into 72%. Here. Then you bring here. $2.88, right? This is what weighted average cost of capital. this is how you do this, right? This is a straightforward calculation only to substitute for the formulas, but you'll have to keep in formula, but understand the sequence there. Understand the sequence. Now the examiner has asked you to calculate the cost of capital. You have to calculate the cost of capital by using the given data. Here examiner has given you data relevant to CAPM. So otherwise they'll have to give you data relevant to dividend growth or dividend model, growth or constant or DuPont or whatever, right? Accordingly, you will have to calculate and then find out the weighted. That's all. 5 marks. 5 marks, right? So in your exam, 1 mark counts a lot. So 46 is pass mark for you all. So important to earn whatever the possible marks. Whatever the possible marks at every time. So then straightforward. Now when you do this calculation, when you go out of the examination hall, you know that I have won 5 marks. There is no right and wrong answer here. So if you get 11.74, I also get the 11.74 if I have done the calculation properly. So there is no any different answers for the calculation. Now examiner here tells you show your calculation. So you will have to show the calculation. You will have to write the formula. You have to show the examiner that you have applied. You have applied the given data. Like this killer, you will have to show the calculation. So by showing the calculation, actually, if you can't calculate now, if you don't have much time to calculate the final answer, you keep that without having the final answer, you will lose only half mark, not less than 1 mark, I suppose, right? I am not examination paper evaluator, but I think that if you have done all these things, you will lose 11.74. If you don't calculate and write the answer, you will lose half a mark. But in this exam, nobody can say that you are insufficient with time. Now for this calculation, 5 marks, you have to spend how many times, how many minutes? You don't have to spend for 5 minutes even. If we know the calculation, if we know the formula, if we know the subject, only the application, only the substitution, right? So easy. So this is the latest paper I have taken this question. Latest paper, right? Similar question, all these are similar questions. And now see this question. This I have taken from 2015 March. Question number 6. Now in this particular paper, 2015 March, first question, which is multiple choice question. Question number 3, sub question. See this question. Which of the following is not a capital market instrument? Ordinary shares, debenture, repo, redeemable preference shares. 2 marks. 2 marks. Another question, same පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නෙම sub question එකක් තියෙනවා, what is the core function of underwriter? පළවෙනි question එකේ 7 වෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ, what is the core function of underwriter? Now this subject, this question paper, very easy to pass, very difficult to fail, right? If you know, basically when you go through the notes which I give you, easily you can pass, and once you complete the past paper, you can easily pass this question exam. Now see this question number 6, right? Primary dealer. Have you heard this word? Yes. Who are the primary dealers? Primary dealers are the dealers or companies or institutions which has been given the license to participate at the primary auction. Auction means what? Treasury bill and treasury bond. Primary auction, there is another one called secondary market. Primary market is what? Secondary market is what? We'll have to segregate that as well, right? We have learned this. Develop the government securities market for the benefit of government and investors. Now, treasury bill rate we are treating as risk-free rate, right? But after adjustment of inflation, where PDs have lucrative business opportunities because it is the biggest securities market in Sri Lanka. Now, treasury bill, treasury bonds are tradable instrument or not? Yes, they are tradable instrument. Scriptless tradable instrument. So what are the fee? Now these two instruments, rupee denominated instrument, which are risk free. Does it mean that no risk at all? No. Which risk is free? Not tested by the examiner. Default risk is free. Credit risk is free. There is no credit risk. But other risks there, right? We have learned what are the other risks as well. Now they are asking question for 20 mark question. Question number 1. Outline the types of government securities traded by the primary dealers. 5 marks. Explain the trading system in the primary market and secondary market. Haven't we learned? Yes, we have. So I told you, Monday they have published the application, the advertisement. Wednesday they have the auction, provided during the week there is no holidays. So then after 2 days time, that is Friday, they make the settlement. E+2. All primary dealers are given the dedicated system by the central bank to place their bids online. By 11 o'clock, particular auction date, this system is closed. Same day by 2 o'clock, like they will release the results. Results mean 3 months how much, 6 months how much, 1 year how much. The weighted average treasury bill rate. Treasury bill, weekly auction. Treasury bonds are not like that. They don't have weekly. Depending on the requirement, depending on the pre-arranged date, they'll have it. Because some money not frequently, treasury bonds, right? And also remember, in the advertisement we have learned, you can't participate at the investor can't participate at the primary auction, but you have exemption. If you have more than 5 million rupees, you can say one of the primary dealers to put your bids at your discretion. And also we have learned the pricing of treasury bill. Remember, not tested, right? Examiner has not tested pricing of treasury bond. Remember that 100 divided by 1 plus R into D divided by 364. Always 364. You have to keep in mind these things, right? Bond calculation, yes, tested. Several times tested. And also remember, we have learned this pricing, the yield and the price form, what you call relationship, negative relationship. Now, see, all these things are related to whatever the things available in. So, examiner can test you anywhere. But if you have learned properly, if you have go through this notes, more than enough for you to pass this exam, right? So, I'm just giving you, since we have done this, you are familiar now, since we have done this. So explain the trading system. This is that 5 marks. And the primary market, secondary market, how do you say? The primary market is the auction. How do you trade the secondary market? Otherwise, you can you basically you tell the broker, I have treasury bill of this. I need to sell before it's mature. So please go and see the price. They don't bring the price. They are bringing what? Percentage of yield, market yield. Then you have to think. Purchase yield, I have taken at 10%. Now the broker says going at 8%. Okay, 10% got take 8%. Am I making profit? Yes, I am making profit. Why? Yield has come down, then price should go up. I am getting anyway. I have more profit. But 10% purchase, selling at 8%, I am okay. Price, the yield has come down, price has gone up. I am making anyway profit. If I want to make more profit, I ask them to make 8%, 7%. You have more profit. So like that, you have to visualize it. Okay. That is secondary market. Or you can tell the broker. Or otherwise, now presently, now this paper was 2015, 2015 wasn't there. Now you can do the trading through Bloomberg. You know, Bloomberg and the Reuters are the trading platform for foreign exchange transaction. But Bloomberg has provided the facility to trade government securities online through their platform. Right? You can use both. So the brokerage won't there when you're using the Bloomberg online platform. That's the only difference. You can have pricing the buying, selling rate, buying, selling rate, buying, selling rate. It's there, right? What third easy, right? 5 mark question. What are the general business ethics that primary dealers should have? That is your own answer. There is no hard and fast rule for you to write. Ethics. Think and write. Now this question actually came 2015. Remember the bond scandal also came into the market. So that's why they have asked you to, they have, now this is March. That's why they have put this question. Ethics ethics. Right? Generally, primary dealer kenek, tau primary dealer kenek bid karanne. To accept somebody else's primary dealer's bid for you to bid, it is not happening. It is not ethical. There is no prohibition, but it doesn't happen. Now say, now I have more than 5 million. I am asking you, you are the primary dealer. I am asking you to put my bid. 5 million, 10% 3 months done. 10% is my own one. 10% gani kila, 10% at the auction. But you put the bid on behalf of me. The central bank our system. That is your name. Central bank doesn't know that is okay. Somebody is given money to you. They don't know. XYZ primary dealer may 5 million mage primary dealer. But central bank knows only central bank gets bid from the primary dealer. That's all. When a primary dealer same thing happened in the bond scandal as well, perpetual bond scandal, right? Perpetual bond bid data bank of Ceylon. So central bank knows that is Bank of Ceylon bids, not perpetual bids, right? Ethics means those are the ethics. So basically, you should not put actually. So you should not put market away rates. The 3 months treasury bill how much now presently going at 4.6. 4.6 and we know that in Sri Lanka we have a decrease in trends of interest rate. So yield curve, remember we have learned 4 types of yield curve. Decreasing, declining, අඩු වෙනවා. එහෙම අඩු වෙලා තියෙද්දි 4.56ට යන එක අපි 4.60ට යන එක දැන් ඔයා දාන 12% today. You can't put now, but you are putting 12%. Is it ethical? No, it's not ethical. Market away bids. You're not supposed to put market away bids. Now presently you must have seen I have given some advertisement. The advertisement itself, central bank says this is the cap maximum rate. Cap rate is there now. Early it wasn't there. Cap rate meter you can't put it. Sir, what ඕන වෙලා ඕන තරම් දාන්න පුළුවන් ඕන bits ඕන rate එකකට. Now you can't, you generally you don't put market away bids. Not ethical. ඊළඟ ප්‍රශ්නේ, are the government securities popular among the general public? 20 mark question. Government securities are now presently not popular. Why? The rates have come down drastically. Now less than 5%. If you put in treasury bill now, you can earn less than 5% for 1 year. Whereas if you put FD, you can have more than that. So then people are not moving to government securities due to the present lower interest rate regime. You have better option to earn yield. Right? On the bank over දැම්මොත් එහෙම I think අපි දන්නා FD එක open කරොත් there is no risk. There is a risk, but generally we don't, banks are not bankrupt. So there are a lot of questions in that question paper which are relevant to us. So when you're doing the question, I just want to give you a encouragement that whatever that we have done with you all are subject to tested. So then easy to pass this exam. There is no difficult exam. This is not a difficult exam for you to pass. Right? If you take each and every question. Now see this question. I think we have done this in the class. Right issue one we have done. Share split. Now you know last week lot of share splits happened. Ms. Damika Pereira shares given lot of share split. Meaning is what? If you read this paper article or the news item, you can see you have more number of shares. Subdivision. Remember that we have learned 10 won't change, but number of shares will change, reducing the price. That is what share you split it. Share you split, then you have more number of shares, more liquidity. Price also should come down. Right? Now, supply has gone up. Now question, now see 2018 March, question number 3, briefly explain the meaning of wealth management. 5 marks. Straightforward question, 5 marks. 2018 March, wealth management. Briefly explain the meaning of wealth management. 5 marks. Now this 2018 September. September. Question number 2. So the last question you have paper is available with you 2019 September, right? 2018 September question number 2 state. Now see, companies issue equity. Companies issue equity on primary market to raise capital and increase liquidity. Companies issue equity. So what do you mean by learn from the question as well, since we are learning? Companies issue equity. What does it mean? They are issuing what? They are issuing shares. This company is issuing shares. Issuing equity means shares. Issuing equity means shares. Right? Issuing equity means shares, so they are issuing equity on primary market. IPO. To raise capital and increase liquidity. Now, what do you mean by that? When you issue shares, it's obvious that capital will rise. Capital like value. That's true. Understood. But the liquidity, to increase the liquidity, does the liquidity improve when you issue shares? What do you mean by liquidity? Liquidity means only your cash position. When you issue shares, what? You get the capital plus liquidity. New shares. State 4 reasons for raising the capital. Why company issue capital? Why company issues capital? So the basically companies issue capital. The reasons why. When you why do you want to issue shares? One thing is, in the question paper, the question itself give an answer to improve the liquidity. The question is state 4 reasons for raising the capital. Why do you want to raise capital? To expand the business. To expand the business. To improve the liquidity. Right. To cater the mergers and acquisitions. To implement whatever the intended projects. The 5-mark question. So why do you want capital? I api capital lega daan. So 5 marks question. So 5 marks. 2018 September. Right. Name the 2 sources of total return for equities and 2 market indices available to track the performance of listed equities. Listed equities, where do you have listed equities? CSE, Colombo Stock Exchange. Name the 2 sources of total return. Name the 2 sources of total return for equities. What do you mean by that? Now, name the 2 sources of total return for equities and 2 market indices available for track. Now, when you invest in shares, what do you get? When you invest in shares, what do you get? You get dividend plus you get capital gain. Name the 2 sources of total return. And two market indices. What are the two market indices available? All share price index, ASI. And we have another one called S&P. Question number 3. Write two differences of common shares and opposed to preference shares. Common shares means what? Ordinary shares. So make a preference shares. One other differences. Now see the question. Next question. Following information was gathered on a capital structure and before tax component cost for a company. Specifically, examiner gives you before tax. The company's marginal tax rate is 40%. Calculate the cost of capital using the weighted average cost of capital model. Debt, book value, market value given, and the component cost is given. Preference debt, book value 100,000, market value 90,000, component cost 8%. Preferred stock 20,000, book value, market value 20,000, component cost 10%. Common stock they have taken from a foreign exam. Common stock means what? Ordinary shares. 100,000, market value 300,000, and common cost is 14,000. So, what is this they are asking? Weighted average cost of capital. 5 marks. It's a 5-mark question. They have calculated the cost of debt, cost of preference shares, cost of equity for you. And they are asking to calculate the cost weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital. Which one you take? You have a book value and you have market value. You always have to take market value. Always have to take market value. Now this is how you do this. Now see, it's a 5-mark question. Now examiners frequently test this. Now see, this is 2018 September, right? Only thing you will have to keep in mind here, you have to take the book value. If the book value and the market value is similar, then you don't want to worry about. If the examiner gives you market value, you will have to take market value, right? You have to take market value. Same thing now, debt 8%. 8%. So how do you find out? So the debt they have market value 90,000, right? Preferred stock they have 20 market value. Then you have common stock 300, 410. එතකොට debt කියලා කියන්නේ 410යි, market value is 90. And here preferred stock 10%, preferred stock 20, 410යි. And here you have plus common stock you have 14%. Then you take 300 out of 410. Here debt. You have to make adjustment to what? Tax rate is 40%. 8%, 1 minus T. $4.8. 4.8 degree. Then you multiply and take similar. Death වලට විතරයි, right? Tax involvement is relevant to death. 8 death එක 8 නේ. 8 into 40% companies marginal tax rate 14 එතකොට යන then 60 නේ. 4.8 correct. So that's how you do this. So now see, how much easy for you to pass this exam. We'll go through the questions. Now I just wanted to give you kind of encouragement that all these questions are based on what we are learning. So far we have completed a considerable amount of your syllabus. With today's session, I have given 4 topics for you to read. 5: wealth management, asset management, investment research, investment advising, all those. I'll be giving a note on loan syndication. That is also for you to read. Only the literal meaning, right? Now, if you feel I have given 2 questions with you all, I have given you 2 question papers. Go through this. If you don't know much things, please speak to me on the class. We can do at the class. Otherwise, straightforward question I have given to you, what we have learned. Now, moving on to today's topic, foreign exchange market. Now, it is a part of your syllabus. It's part of your syllabus, but examiner, the syllabus does not give what are the areas to be covered. Now, 2014, there was a question on this foreign exchange transaction, and later also we have time to time we have seen, but not frequently. Not frequently examiner tested this kind of questions on foreign exchange, right? So basically, we have enough and more time for you to cover. So we will comprehensively cover with this foreign exchange transaction. I don't know this time, but the recent past, examiner not tested much on foreign exchange transactions, right? So how does it relevant to us? So when you're working in the investment banking division, say the foreigner comes to Sri Lanka and they contact you. Why you are working? You are in the field of investment banking. I need to invest in shares. So foreigner says, I need to invest in government securities. I need to invest in treasury bond. I need to invest in SLDB. So then you'll have to undertake that project there. So he brings money to Sri Lanka in terms of dollar or whatever foreign currency. Then you convert into LKR and do the investment. And once the investment matures, they'll have to take money back their home. So you'll have to facilitate that. So when foreigner needs to come to Sri Lanka to invest in Sri Lankan products or Sri Lankan instruments, so which account they'll have to open? How does the foreigner bring money to Sri Lanka? Through what? So they'll have to open an account we call IIA account. So it's a reverse CI account, SIA. Now we have to open IIA accounts, and once they come to Sri Lanka, they'll have to invest in. So bring money to Sri Lanka in terms of dollars, we say. Then conversion part we are learning now. So how do you learn, and which rate bank gives you, like that, right? Now this foreign exchange market is a huge market. Huge market. You know, once we go to sleep, US coming into the market. England coming into the market. So this market is live always, all the time. Start at Japanese. So when we are sleeping, Japanese started. New Zealand started. So when you go to sleep, US started. So like that, it is basically right now. Saturdays, some Middle East banks are open, but we don't open. Other countries we don't open, but the Fridays some banks are closed. Some Middle East countries and Maldives also banks are closed on Fridays, but Sunday they are open, right? So it is basically a live transaction, a huge transaction. So the volatility is quite high. Now, when you take a decision on foreign currency now, completely you can be ruined. Completely you can be vanished with the wrong decision. You purchase today, whatever the currency, erroneously. Now you want to purchase means erroneously you purchase, then you'll have to sell it. But once you want to sell it within a second, everything will be vanished. So the prices are moving. Prices are moving very much. So it's very difficult to make wrong decision or very difficult to rectify the wrong decision in the market of foreign exchange. So basically, now these foreign exchange markets are the people who are working in the foreign exchange markets we call dealers. They actually we call dealers. So important for them to make right decision why the prices are moving. කොහෙදී හරි මොකක් හරි සිද්ධියක් වුණොත් එහෙම suddenly it can change the pricing. Now you know this this corona pandemic has done a lot of negative impact to the economies of in the world. So the whole currencies have depreciated, right? Depreciated currencies have depreciated. So then depreciation means what? You pay more. You pay more. So any country, whatever the country, you pay more means your currency is depreciated. Currency is depreciated. So we call there are two types of things: appreciation and depreciation, and also devaluation. And also we call devaluation. So what do you mean by that? To understand the terms, your examiner can test you for 2-mark questions. Now see now USD LKR rate. What does this mean? This is buying, this is selling. Who's buying? Mine? Yours? No. Banks. Banks buying. Banks selling. Customer කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා එයා එනවා බැංකුවට ඩොලර්ස් ගන්න. He needs to buy dollars. Rate එක මේකද? Whose rate is this? Your bank rate. What is your position? You need to buy. You need to buy means bank has to sell. This is the side. So lot of people we have seen make this mistake. Think from the bank side. So bank is always correct. This is bank rate. Your bank buying and selling rate. But I need to buy. I need to buy, then bank has to sell. Right? Bank has to sell. So the exporter brings money to Sri Lanka. This is an examination question. Bring money to Sri Lanka, euro 2 million. He need to convert into rupees. Abhi your dollars ke naga 2 million. LKR. $2 million ke na need to convert into LKR. Now I have $2 million. I'm going to the bank. I'm going to the bank and asking, I have $2 million. Mata meka rupiya kala denna ko kiyala. I need to sell. Dollars. I need to sell and I need to buy LKR. Always you think from the left hand side currency. So we'll later we will learn. Dollar thina but rupiya karandu. So what do you do with dollar? Dollar you selling. Dollar you sell. Bank has to buy. Then bank will quote $2 billion. So this is the total of the LKR. You need to sell, but you can't select ekasya. Bank, you sell means bank buys. So bank will quote 190. And what do you mean by depreciation? What do you mean by depreciation? Now, median dan rate again. Make up again more tipe ekasya asuwai, ekasya asu pahai. What has happened? The amount you pay for dollar has gone up. Gone up means rupee has worsened. So anybody who pays more, your economy is weak. මේක හැමතිස්සෙම යන්නේ වම් පැත්තේ තියෙන එක එකකට මේවා කීයද? For example GBP USD. GBP එකකට USD කීයද? දැන් යූරෝ මේව තිබ්බොත් යූරෝ USD තිබ්බොත් යූරෝ එකකට USD කීයද? නිව්සීලන්ඩ් ඩොලර් තිබ්බොත් USD කියලා නිව්සීලන්ඩ් ඩොලර් එකකට USD කීයද? USD JPY තිබ්බොත් එහෙම USD එකකට JPY කීයද? Always left hand side equals 1. Now see the difference which I have written here. On your left hand side, these three other currencies. See the right hand side of this currency pair. Dollar is on your right hand side. But see our one, dollar is in our left hand side. JPY dollar is in left hand side. So there is a pattern. In the world, we have 4 currencies: New Zealand dollars, GBP, Euro, and AUD. Those are the only 4 currencies which has USD on your right hand. Apart from these 4, always other currencies are USD on your right, on your left hand. So the always New Zealand dollar ekakada USD. These 4 currencies we call indirect quotes. So it's available in your notes, right? Indirect quotes. These are direct quotes. And these are direct. So basically we are discussing. So now what has happened to the rupee? The amount you pay in terms of rupee has gone up, meaning rupee has depreciated. Anything you pay more, currency is weak, depreciated. Which currency has depreciated? Rupee. LKR has depreciated. you pay more. Appreciated. So the LKR is depreciated. Obviously, the other currency has appreciated. USD has appreciated. So what do you mean by devaluation? You purposely do this. Other make a mom make other budget taking rupiah this year. You purposely do this. So how do you decide these two? Based on the demand and supply. When you have more supply, rate coming down. Now what has happened to us now? We don't have much supply of dollars. Why? Export earnings have come down. Tourism has zero income. FDIs has not as expected. Remittance only we have, right? Remittances we have achieved the last year target, more than the target. 6%, 5.8% has increased in terms of worker remittances to Sri Lanka compared to 2019 and 2020. I was referring to 2020 figure, right? $7.1 billion altogether. 2019 we had only 6.7. It's a good achievement, right? People who are working abroad have sent money to Sri Lanka during this pandemic situation. And one thing is now, you know, there are informal channels we use, people, and they have actually informal channels nobody can use anymore. So they are actually keeping money to send Sri Lanka through banking channels, right? So understand. So when you have more demand than the supply, obviously prices move up. Same thing has happened to us now. We don't have much dollars. Dollar we have shortage. So when but more demand also curtailed, right? Why? Due to the import restriction. But we have demand than the supply. So then the exchange tend to go up, but it has come down now recent past due to the lot of measures taken by the central bank. Forward exchange transaction they have restricted, they have banned actually. Investing in ISB, international sovereign bonds, also banned to Sri Lanka banks. A lot of measures they have taken. Now last week, whatever the remittances earned by the bank has to 10% of that has to be sold to central bank. So those are the method they are using, control or the stabilize the exchange rate. So ideal exchange rate is 85 level. That's the government target, 85, 86 level. They can bring it down. Actually, it was 190. Now it has come down to 190 level. So better. So we can achieve this target. So how do we achieve? By controlling the imports, by controlling the market, right? So basically, we have demand. If we say demand and supply, we have a managed free floating. Demand and supply are the different. We have managed free floating means what? Central bank intervene several times. Central bank intervene to stabilize the exchange rate for a particular company, depending on the situation, right? Depending on the situation. So understand the terms: devaluation, depreciation, appreciation. I always think about your left hand side equals 1. Equals 1. These are the direct costs, indirect costs. Indirect means there are 4 types of indirect costs: New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, euro, and GBP. So, and other than these 4, other costs are direct costs. Right. Any question you have? Do you have any question I can answer? So basically, we'll be continuing with this next week as well. Foreign exchange transaction. If you have any question, please bring to the class so we can discuss it. Right. Since you don't have any question, we will continue from the next week. We will be winding up the class today, right? Thank you very much for participating.